Hi there, welcome to the second part of our UML to Java programming tutorial. In the first video, we learned how to create this UML diagram, which we would convert into a functional Java program in this video. If you are new here, kindly watch the first video on UML to Java to have a background to this video. Link in the description. Creating a Java program is a straightforward process. It usually begins by creating a file with a similar name to the Java class that you are about to create. On screen, you will observe that I have created a file customer.java, which I have saved in a preferred location within my computer. So navigate to a preferred location and create a file with a name that you will prefer to use for your class. In our UML diagram, you will notice that the name of our class is customer. Hence, we have created a class with the name customer in this program, public class customer. Within the diagram, you will also observe that we declared a number of attributes, such as the customer name, account number, customer BVN, and balance, specifying the data type of each attribute. You will notice that in this program, we have made these attributes as private because they are preserved attributes that can only be accessed by members of this class, by methods within this class. To initialize these attributes with values, let's create a constructor for our class. A constructor is a special method within a class which has the same name as the name of the class, and it fires up immediately an instance of the class is initiated. It is used to assign initial values to the class when an instance of the class is called. And as you can see, we have this constructor customer, and the function of this constructor is to initialize the values of our attributes. Hence, you see, we make reference to the values of the attributes by using these dots customer name, and we will assign it the values received by the constructor at the point of creating an instance of this class. Now, looking at our UML diagram, you will observe that we created methods for deposit, withdrawal, and the display of customer information. To enable a deposit operation in this program, we will create a method that will carry out that functionality. This method has a parameter for the amount you intend to deposit. The functionality within the method is simply an if-else statement, which checks if the amount provided is greater than 0 before updating the account balance. Otherwise, it will warn the user of invalid deposit amount. The next operation is the withdrawal operation. Hence, our method receives an argument for amount. And the functionality for that is an if-else statement that validates the amount provided by checking that it is not less than or equal to 0. And where that is the condition, the user gets an invalid withdrawal amount message. Otherwise, if the amount provided is greater than the account balance, the user gets an insufficient fund message. And where the amount provided is valid, the account balance is debited by subtracting the amount from account balance, and the withdrawal is successful. Next, we will create a method to display customer details. The functionality here is simply for customers to check their details, account balance, BVN, and any other relevant information. In Java programming, to execute this program, we will need to implement the execution functionalities within a main method. So we have added this main method to enable this program to execute successfully. The first operation of this method is to instantiate our class. The class that we have just created, we instantiate it. And you will remember that I mentioned that the constructor is used to initialize the attributes of the class. Hence, at the instantiation of this class, we supply the details necessary for initializing those attributes. So here we are creating an instance of the customer class, and we provide the necessary information: the customer name, account number, BVN, and amount we are using to create this new customer account. The next operation in this main method is to view customer information. So we call the display info method within the class. Hence, we have customer.displayInfo. That basically shows us the details of the customer. In this next line, we are now making a cash deposit into the customer's account. Hence, we call customer.cashDeposit method, and we will provide the amount, in this instance 3,000. Then the next operation is cash withdrawal, and here we withdrew 3,005. Now notice that the initial amount in the customer's account was 2,500. At the point of depositing 3,000, we will have a total of 5,500 in the account balance. And here we are withdrawing 3,500. So the balance will remain 2,000. In the next operation, we try to run another withdrawal on that account, but you notice that we have a total of 4,000 to withdraw. Meanwhile, we have 2,000 in our balance. Hence, this operation will trigger the insufficient balance condition in our program. Then eventually we display the info of the customer to see what is left in the accounts. Now let's go over to our terminal and compile this program and execute it to see the flow of details that will be displayed. To compile our Java program, you simply run javac. Javac means Java compiler. We are calling the Java compiler to compile this program, and we'll specify the name of our Java file and hit the return key on your keyboard. If the operation runs successfully, you will not see any error message, as you can observe on screen. If there is no error message, that implies that the compilation of this program executed successfully. To now run the program, one thing you will need to notice is that when you compile a Java program, the compilation process creates another file within the directory where the Java file was stored. So if you check this directory, you see that we have this Java file, which is the original file where we wrote our Java program. But upon compilation, the process created this Java class. This is the executable file that we need to run to be able to see our program. So to run the Java class program, we just simply write on our terminal Java, and then we provide the name of that class. Once you hit the return key on your keyboard, you have the specified programs executed. And like we explained, you can see here we have the name of the customer, account number, BVN, and account balance. During the first deposit operation, we deposited 3,000, and you can see you have 3,000 deposit was successful. New balance is 5,500. And when we made a withdrawal of 3,500 withdrawal was successful. New balance 2,000. Then in the next operation, we tried to withdraw 4,000, and you can see the program returning the information that we have insufficient funds, withdrawal failed. We checked our account detail to know how much we have left in the account, and we see that we now have 2,000 left. Congratulations, you have successfully written a Java program to mimic a customer's bank operations involving deposits and withdrawals. In this video, we practically had coded the customer's deposits and withdrawal operations. In the next video, we will convert these activities into dynamic program, where the customer will make inputs into the program, more like the interaction you have with the bank ATMs. So in the next program, we will convert this to an interactive program. See you in the next one.